And then the final F here is going to be for the flexor carpi ulnaris, which will be on the medial side. So go ahead and put that right there. And that's what you see right here as it goes all the way down to the carpal region. What flexor carpi ulnaris is going to be doing is going to just flex and adduct the hand. Moving on to one level deeper, we're going to have the Flexor Digitorum Superficialis. We'll have two Flexor Digitorums. One thing I want to note here, these two are at the same level of deepness. So just underneath those superficial flexors that we just talked about, that group of four, what's going to be left is the Flexor Digitorum Superficialis right here. And what that's going to be doing is flexing the phalanges and the hand. Flexor Digitorum Profundus is going to be deep, so it's going to be underneath that Flexor Digitorum Superficialis, and it's also going to be flexing the phalanges and the hand. Now, this is at the same levels, just lateral to Flexor Digitorum Profundus is the Flexor Pollicis Longus, and Flexor Pollicis Longus is going to be flexing the thumb. So as we take a look here, Brachioradialis is this muscle right here that's been moved out of the way. Flexor Carpi Ulnaris has also been moved out of the way. And then we've cut pronator teres, flexor carpi radialis, and palmaris longus out of here. We already cut those three muscles away. So what we have left, this first muscle, is the flexor digitorum superficialis. Now, one level deeper to this, if we cut this away, we'd have these two muscles right here, flexor digitorum profundus, that we see just a little bit of it over here. And then lateral to it, we see flexor pollicis longus right here. Now, we also have to work on the extensors of the antebrachium as well. And so one thing I want to note is a landmark that will be useful as you navigate the forearm is the ulna bone itself. So if you actually find your olecranon or tip of the elbow and you walk up the bone to your carpal region, you'll feel the bone pretty much throughout the entire way down your arm. And so that's telling you there's not a lot of stuff between the bone and the skin. So when skin is removed, you can see that ulna bone very clearly and very early without removing a lot of stuff. So use that to your advantage, because what the ulna is going to be doing is it's going to divide the flexors from the extensor side. So flexors will be anterior, whereas the extensors will be posterior. And so extensor carpi ulnaris is going to be the very first muscle just posterior to that ulna bone. And what extensor carpi ulnaris is going to be doing is extending and adducting the hand. We also have extensor digitorum communis, which you'll also see sometimes called just extensor digitorum. And what this is going to be doing is it's a muscle that's going to have tendons that go to the digits, specifically digits 2, 3, and 4. Because digit number 5, your pinky, actually has its own little muscle that separates out called the extensor digiti minimi. And so the extensor digitorum communis is just going to be extending the fingers and the hand, whereas extensor digiti minimi will be extending the pinky. We're also going to have two extensor carpi radialis muscles, a brevis and a longus. And so brevis will be the shorter one that's deeper, whereas longus will sit on top superficially. And both of these muscles are going to do the same thing. They're going to extend and abduct the hand. So as we take a look here, again, notice the olecranon right here tells me there's the ulna bone. If I trace that all the way down, I see it come up right here. So there's my divider. So anterior, this way, is going to be flexor side. Posterior, this way, is going to be the extensor. So this first muscle right here that's sitting just on the ulna is going to be the extensor carpi ulnaris. Then we have our extensor digitorum communis, which is this big muscle right here. But if you actually come over here and you look at the pinky side, you'll see one small little muscle separate out, and that is the extensor digiti minimi. Then we have our group of two right here, our extensor carpi radialis muscles. Brevis is the deep one. It's going to be shorter, whereas longus is more superficial up here, and it's going to go all the way down. We also have four more muscles on this posterior antebrachium. So we have the abductor pollicis longus, which that is going to be involved in abducting the thumb. Extensor pollicis brevis is going to be the short one that will extend the thumb.